Welcome back to the Mauler's Punch in the Face video blog. I am, of course, your host, Paul the Mauler Lazenby, right here at paullazenby.com. Today's segment brought to you by POW! Rootsoffight.com and POW! FusionBodybuilding.com. If you're on paullazenby.com, you can see the links right over there. And if you're not on paullazenby.com and you're watching somewhere else, get your ass over to my site. Okay, today's topic is this. In specific terms, it's something I'm very proud of, the Canadian Super Heavyweight MMA title. But in abstract terms, what this is simply the belt, the strap, the 12 pounds of gold, the carrot on a stick that keeps fighters battling each other to make it to the top of their respective organizations and makes fans look at a champion as being somebody different from the rank and file. Now, what I want to talk to you about is the concept of protecting the belt, a pro wrestling concept that definitely applies to MMA. Now, recent events from Strikeforce and Bellator got me thinking about this, especially Bellator. This is a company that's got great production value, solid commentary team, great in-cage action, and yet if you go up to somebody on the street and you say, hey, UFC, they go, oh, UFC, Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell, GSP. You say Bellator, you get a vacant expression and a line of drool down the side of their face. Because Bellator has obsessed about MMA like it's too much of a sport and not enough entertainment, and they haven't protected their belt. A good example is they just started their lightweight tournament. In Bellator, you got to battle your way up through a 3-show, 8-man tournament just to be able to get a title shot. Which sounds good on paper, but also keeps the champion sitting idle so long that they got to fight in non-title super fights. What does that do? It puts your champion in a position where, first of all, he's not defending this, which makes it weaker. Second of all, he could be in a position where he holds this, and yet he just got his ass kicked on TV. Weakens the belt. They're not protecting the belt. And that's just one way. But I want to flip the script now and give some due credit to a company that I've come down hard on in the past, Strikeforce. They did the opposite. You can play fast and loose with something like women's MMA, especially because it's so new, and they did just that when they took Ronda Rousey, an athlete I've talked about on this video blog before, who had fought her entire career at 145, and they allowed her to drop down to 135 and immediately get a title shot against Miesha Takedown Tate. That was a calculated risk that definitely paid off because you had Tate, who's marketable, Rousey, who's even more marketable, so this wouldn't lose prestige either way. If the champion wins, hey, she's still the champ and even stronger for winning that fight. If Rousey wins, you've got an insanely charismatic fighter carrying this, and it ended up paying off huge. Now, the Strikeforce women's 135-pound strap is worth more than ever. They knew how to protect the belt with judicious matchmaking. So promoters, I'm going to appeal to you, especially Bjorn Redney of Bellator. If you don't know how to protect the belt, I want you to find somebody who's had their boots on the ground for over 10 years, who understands pro wrestling / MMA promotional techniques, wind them up, let them go, and watch your company prosper. Because if you don't know how to protect this, if you think it's automatically worth something just by virtue of being a championship, you're going to end up eventually sitting in the same quagmire as a million other failed promotions and wondering what the hell went wrong. That's the Mauler's Punch in the Face video blog, and I am Paul the Mauler Lazenby, wishing you happiness, health, and a punch in the face.